Hello there on YouTube. It's your boy Josh Ox,
It's your boy Tay.
and this is another special episode where we're going to review WandaVision episode 5 review. Okay?
Yep.
But before you get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and also comment. If you agree with us or disagree with us, feel free to give it. We will read each and every comment. Okay?
Yep.
All right. And what we're going to do is before we get started, there will be spoilers in this review. So if you haven't watched WandaVision episode 5, please stop, freeze, and come back and watch it later. And
Yep.
also check out our other content where we do reviews episode 1 through 4 and
Yep.
just talk about how our predictions and how we came to this conclusion. All
Yep.
right. So I'm gonna I'll let you go first, Dave. Let's go with your first reaction episode 5.
All right. My first reaction. All right. Right off the bat, I know a lot of people been thinking it. Whatever. This is one of the longer episodes of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't feel like it, but it was the
I agree with
longest
you on that.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 42 minutes to be exact, including credit. So, uh, I think this one was more like we predicted on the last review. I think this is starting to become that horror turn, like that turn that's about to make this show a little bit more thriller slash horror like. Now we're starting to
Mm-hmm.
see how this whole story is going to be unfolding, plus more questions is going to be asked after this episode as well. But it's this is possibly, I'm not gonna say possibly, this is outside of episode 4, this is the best episode so far.
Okay, I think episode 4 was slightly better because the reveal of Vision Dead Corpse gave it
Yeah,
away. That
yeah,
was a little creepy. I didn't expect they was going to show it, but they did show it because we've been talking about this since like episode 4. Was
yeah,
how is Vision still alive? That's that was one of the biggest questions.
yep,
And my first reaction is I liked it. I like episode 5. Episode 5, I want to say, is the second best episode. It unraveled a little bit more
uh-huh,
about Wanda's alternate reality that she created. And
uh-huh,
also, I like they did the 80s settings. So they did what the three they did Family
yeah,
Ties, Growing Pains, and Full House.
yep. That was the
Yep.
3. Yep.
So those are the three they left off. And anything else you wanna say about the first episode? Let's just talk about
Um,
anything caught your eye, Easter eggs.
I think one of the Easter eggs was the toilet. I mean, not toilet, but the paper towel name of
Oh, that's the
the paper
commercial.
towel.
So the commercial
Yeah,
was the commercial. So if you didn't know, the commercial Legos, the paper
yeah.
towels, it was a reference back to Civil
Civil
War
War.
when
Yep.
she used her power, I guess, against Crossbone. I believe when Crossbone killed himself
Yeah.
and they blew up
Yeah.
they blew up the building that started like the whole Civil War. It was an
Yes.
accident, but that led to the Civil War. That's why
Yeah.
it was part of her trauma because she was involved in that.
Yeah. That was her. That was like her costly mistake of this whole, the whole Silver Union
Mm.
making that book of the
Okay.
laws for
I
superheroes.
want to tell you another Easter egg that went over a lot of people's head. So when Monica Rambeau was getting her X-rays, that it showed the spectrum of light.
Uh-huh.
I think that introduced her power as her superhero role as photon or spectrum, whichever one they choose is pretty much
Yeah.
very similar. And I think that's going to lead up to Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah.
So I think Marvel is actually genius in this WandaVision show.
Yeah. Oh, they are like they are like on A game when it comes to these Easter eggs and these
Yeah. So a lot of people didn't notice that. And another thing we didn't notice, she said she knows some aerospace engineer
uh-huh,
that can, I guess she's trying to get back into the reality. They were
uh-huh,
trying to come up with some scientific way they can get back in. And I was wondering who the aerospace engineer could be.
uh-huh.
So who do you think it could be?
Um, a lot of people gonna say is Mr. Fantastic. I don't think
Yeah,
it is.
it's
I don't think it
possible.
is. It's
It's
possible.
possible.
Me personally, I think it's the Skull's daughter from
Mm,
Captain Marvel. She could,
okay,
she
so
could, she
I think
could.
it could be one of the skull. Yeah, because she did build a relationship with one of the
Hmm.
skulls in Captain Marvel. So
It was a
you do got to take on that. Mr.
Um,
Fantastic, that actually would be great for the series. That's a good way to
yeah.
introduce the
But
Fantastic
I
Four
think
to the universe.
yeah, but I think that would be too obvious. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, but this can be before he got his powers.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, yep, yo, we don't know the timeline.
Oh,
So also in this episode, it gave away the timeline. So this is 2 weeks after
2 weeks.
End two
Yeah,
weeks after
2 weeks.
Endgame.
Oh,
So and another thing, when she stole the body, no one ever talks about that. Vision in his will didn't want to be used as a weapon, and Soul was
within.
pretty much experimental. That's why his
Yep.
body was all taken apart.
Yep.
So that's another Easter egg that everyone went.
And no, I think another one before we get back to that point. Could
Mhm.
this possibly be the introduction of Doom, Doctor Doom, as well?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. That could be Doctor Doom too as well. We didn't talk about that.
They
Doctor
all in
Doom.
they all in the same field. They're
Yeah,
all in
yeah.
the same field.
It's
So
possible. It's possible. We don't know.
yeah,
I'm just throwing. We just throwing it out there. So if we're
yeah.
close to right, we getting credit. We taking all that credit.
I know,
We
right?
taking that free throw shot. That
Yeah,
buzzer beater.
but to that point though, like what you were saying, um, this is what I've been saying from, or we both been saying from the last review we had on episode 4
Mhm.
about Hayward, that he knows way more than what he's leading on, and it's starting to show more and more. I'm thinking his character is the reason why Wanda snapped. I'm starting to
Ooh,
think
that's
it.
your prediction. That's one of your predictions. I
I'm
actually got a
thinking,
different take on it. I think Hayward is part of Hydra.
ooh, dog, ooh, that's a good one. That's a
I
good one.
I watched it. We watched it 3 times, and
Yes,
I that's
yeah.
that's a bold prediction. That's my Hail Mary pass to try to win the game. If I'm
Do you
right, I'm taking that credit.
do you think by you saying that, do you think he was in the lab with Stryker
It's
when
possible
this
he can be
happened?
somewhat. It's possible he can be somewhat part of that.
I'm thinking if you saying that, bro, I'm thinking he was in the base.
That's my
He
bold
had to be.
prediction. I could be wrong. I'm going down this hill. I think he might be Hydra, a member of
Yeah,
Hydra, or Hydra rebranded themselves, whatever they rebranded themselves
yeah,
as. Okay.
yeah. Dang, that's a good one. Ooh, that's a good one. I think another prediction I'm probably gonna have is, which I think it already is gonna lead into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the real Quicksilver. Quicksilver,
Ooh.
Quicksilver will reveal
Hot
himself as
take,
being
hot
the.
take. Okay, I had a similar. I think he may be Mephisto. That's
Yes,
my
that's what I
slight
think it is.
edge.
Yes.
But let's bring logic to this reality.
Uh-huh.
So Wanda reality is set in the time frame. Remember with the drone? It was
Yeah.
from the 80s, so it wouldn't change. So the Quicksilver that we know had to be from the X-Men because he was in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the
Yep.
old X-Men?
Yep.
Because if you look at the one during Age of Ultron, he was born in the 1989, so he wasn't alive yet technically at
Yes.
the
And in
time.
the Marvel, yeah, the Marvel timeline is 1989. So
Yes,
he
he
would
was
not have been born. Yes.
yeah. So it makes sense for them to do the 80s version of
Yeah.
that, which is from the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
But the key, what I think Marvel is really doing with WandaVision, they're introducing the multiverse to the Marvel.
Yeah. This is officially
Yeah,
this
yeah.
officially saying this the multiverse.
After I watched this episode, that pretty
Yeah.
proved what we always thinking.
Yeah.
Because if you actually look at Marvel, Spider-Man 3 is supposed to have like the old villains from the
Mm-hmm.
older movie, like Jamie Foxx is supposed to come back. And
Yeah.
also this sets up for Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Well, and Doctor Strange 2, isn't it called Multiverse of Madness? So
yeah.
it actually makes sense for them to go this route. And I
Yep.
think, like we've been saying, this is how they're going to introduce mutants to
Yep.
the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
So that's my bold prediction. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Any other predictions?
Outside of Agnes killing that damn dog,
Yeah. Man, rest in peace. Was Sparky? Sparky.
Sparky,
Rest in peace,
Sparky.
little Sparky.
Yeah. Oh, and like to the I mean, even though it's not a prediction, but it's like the for the show. Did you see that they did like red haze over most of the scenes in this
Yeah,
episode as
they
well?
yeah, they did that to represent the hex or
Yeah,
like the control. I get that concept.
yeah.
But
It looked like she losing control though.
yeah,
It
I
looked like
think
she.
next if I had to do a prediction, next episode, so it looks like they slowly going back how Wanda got there, how she got
Hmm.
Vision body. I think the next episode is going to show how she took over the town with the
Yeah,
Hex. I think that's
yeah,
going to be the next episode. So they
yeah.
slowly going from past to present.
Hmm.
Okay, so this episode they pretty much showed it inside the 80s
Hmm.
reality and also inside outside a Sword version.
Yeah, and
Okay,
then
so go for it, go for it.
oh no, I was gonna say and the other thing about it is this episode also show how powerful she can really be. like
Now,
like
this episode actually proves something else that she don't have control of the. She
nope.
slowly losing control of the reality. She even
Yep.
said in an argument with Vision that you think I control all this.
Yeah. I don't
Oh,
she even said I don't think a lot of people caught it. She's like, I don't even know how I got here.
yeah. So
She's
that's
like, I
what
don't
is
even know.
indicating that there's a bigger villain.
Yeah.
She's not the only one controlling.
It's
Also, what I also think, very, very good. I think her kids are aware too. I think her hex doesn't work on kids. Remember, she tried to calm the
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
So that's
It didn't
why I
work.
think in Westview you don't see any kids.
Yeah,
It only
yeah,
works on like adults. I guess kids are innocent, so her hex won't work on
yeah.
kids.
I
That's
mean,
my
even
gut is telling me.
yeah, even Vision said it. There is no other kids in this town.
Yeah,
That
and
playground set is empty every morning when I go to work. Where are the children?
and
These the only
also
children.
also the kids are aware of her powers and control because when the dog died, you notice that she said, "Oh, you can bring them back."
Yeah,
That went over a lot of people's head. And another part that went over that the kids aged themselves
on
when
purpose.
she said you gotta be older to be a dog. They aged
Yeah,
themselves to 10.
yeah.
Okay. I know. Was it Wiccan said shares the same Wolfcraft.
Hmm.
A Wanda type of powers with her, so that makes sense. But
But speed.
well, Speed
Now
Speed
speed.
is gonna be Tommy. I believe Tommy is yeah. I believe
Yeah,
Tommy Billy is Wiccan, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Billy
believe
is
Tommy.
working and Tommy is
Correct me
Tommy
if I'm
is
wrong. I could be wrong. I'm just standing off the top of my dome.
yeah. But
Okay.
not like
So
but the fact that the twins, like you said, they're aging themselves quickly, like rapidly.
mm,
But I think this is where the comic part of it kicks in.
mm,
I think they're real, but I also think they are the leverage. I'm gonna say the leverage for Mephisto.
mm,
Like they're like the key
mm.
of him revealing himself. I'll say it like that. I think they might be the key of Mephisto showing himself is the kids. That's why I don't think it's that I don't think that like I said, I don't think it's that many kids because of that. But you also gotta remember, kids also know your true character.
Yeah. Okay. It's a couple of parts. Also, let's not talk about the opening scene where Agnes, Vision sort of messed up her line, and she looked
Yeah,
at Wanda. Can we do it from the top again? And Vision just looked all confused, like
yeah,
what? Yeah. So, well, so what I think I'm just gonna do it early. I think we already said this. Ralph is probably Mephisto or
yes,
her boss,
yeah.
and I think Dottie has something to do with it too as well. For some reason, I
Yep.
gotta because if you ever, what I think the plot is, the goal was to convince Wanda to have kids. Because
Yes.
if you look at the first two episodes for the children,
For the
they came
children.
in,
Yep.
why you don't have kids? They keep implementing these thoughts in their head that have kids. My gut is telling me that we're gonna say Mephisto as of now is what we think. It could change. Is
Hmm.
the villain, and what he's trying to do is setting Wanda up to be like the punk, like the fall guy, like
Hmm.
for this issue why they get away, and that's gonna give them an opportunity to take the kids. The goal is for them to get the kids grown and to take the kids. I think Agnes is a part of it too. I think
Yeah.
Agnes is always
Take
around.
yeah. It's literally to take the kids away from her so the chaos power will be
But the
dissolved.
question I really have is how they gonna introduce the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper I think is gonna be in here for some reason. I still think the Grim Reaper is going to be in here for some reason.
Could he possibly be the guy that's in the missing case? Cause now we know it ain't the mailman.
It's
The
not the
mailman.
mailman because the mailman was on the wall. They
Yep.
identified him. Because
Yep.
I'm trying to think of what other characters that we saw from episode 1 to 4. We're just gonna do 1 to 4 that
Yeah.
we saw that maybe been a minor character. Maybe we just looked over him. Maybe I gotta take another look at the previous episodes, but
Yeah,
my gut is telling me that's it. That's the
yeah.
case.
That's what I'm thinking. Like I'm going off of what you said, and then now when you thinking more and more about it, I'm thinking Grand Reaper is the missing guy from the FBI case. Now this is
Yeah,
something that we completely missing
it's
completely.
going. I'm gonna rewatch it by net. Hopefully by 6 they reveal something. They keep
Yeah,
leaving out. We know it's a him because he Agent Lee. I mean, he hinted at it's a him. So
yeah,
we assuming it's a man. We just assuming about
yeah.
the pronouns that he used. All right. So what will you rank this episode 1 to 10?
1 to 10. I'm not gonna give it as high as episode 4, so I'll give it like a. I might have to give this an 8.9. I give it an 8.9.
Okay, I'm gonna give it about an 8.5. It's a strong B plus. Strong B plus.
Yeah.
Episode
Only
four, I
reason,
think, was the best. I think
yeah.
episode 4 was the best. It showed how everybody came back from
Hmm.
at the end game, and it also introduced the madness, actual realism of it happened,
Hmm.
and it introduced a question that I knew, but we wasn't sure
Or
that
how
Vision
real.
was dead.
Yeah.
Vision was dead. Yeah, once they showed that dead body, with the missing mind stone in his head, I cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, and then I'll probably leave off with this. I
Mm,
also was trying to think. They're going to have to go to the point where we're going to have to see Wanda with Hayward at some point and see how far this relationship, not the relationship, but how far this anger between him goes. Because two
mm,
parts stuck out to me when it came to these two. The first part,
mm.
why the why? Excuse my language. I know we're on YouTube, but
Watch your language. Watch your language. We're on YouTube.
WTF? Why would you shoot a missile at somebody that controls the whole city
Well,
and don't
he
think?
probably thought he probably thought if he killed her that the thing would just come to an end. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
But the thing was, you're in her realm. Of course,
He
she's
could have
not
still.
going to die.
Well, technically, he probably could have got her if he.
Yeah,
The problem is he waited too late. If he really wanted to kill her,
yeah.
but I think she
And then,
probably would have got. I think she probably would have
yeah,
dodged that like the Matrix.
pretty much. But then you
Yeah.
see, she can leave out at any moment. She can literally leave. She really
Mm-hmm.
can leave. She decides to leave, throw the joint back at them. Didn't go at Monica, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Did not go at Monica. So she's looking at her like really a ally at this point. She kind of like both sides of the fence, but she's looking at Monica like, all right, you see what I could do? Tell them,
Mm-hmm.
or you gonna be next. One of that type of thing. But the way that she looked at Hayward when she was talking about I got what I wanted, and there's nobody, no one could take that away from me. Keyword again, and look right at him through his soul.
Mm-hmm. That's
Why she
why when
said
I saw
that?
that he might be Hydra. That's why I'm thinking he might be Hydra affiliated, but I could be wrong. That's a hot take right there.
Yeah. But not only that, she decides to proceed to turn the guns on Hayward only and
Mm-hmm.
walk off.
Yeah.
If that ain't saying Hayward is in some more shit that we don't know about, I don't know what does. Like
Yeah.
this
Okay.
guy's bad news. He's bad
Okay.
news for
All right. So I think that was a good review. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I'm gonna give it a strong B plus. You give it a B plus too, somewhere in
real.
that. Okay.
Yeah, 8.9. 8.9.
Also, check out our review. We're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
a review next Sunday, Monday. So make sure you like, subscribe, and also follow us. We have a Facebook group. We also have a
Yep.
Twitter, Instagram. So just follow us. We also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So make sure you subscribe.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And make sure if you like it, you share it so we get in the YouTube algorithm, get our views up. And thanks for the
Yep.
support.